Hello everyone, hope you are well on a Monday night. It's kind of late on Monday night, so most of you probably won't be seeing this until Tuesday sometime. I think we very well could see Shtf, at least in some parts of this world, if not here, in 10 weeks. And I think especially in some other parts of the world, maybe not here or in North America, but it could be as early as the next 30, within 30 days. I think is a very crucial time, and I'll explain, so bear with me. I want to talk about that, and I also want to talk about three to four things that we are stocking up on here at the Dogstead, and of course, a good verse at the end, so stay tuned. Ukraine exported over $140 million worth of wheat to the United States before this big health crisis we had started, 2 years ago. That's a heck of a lot. A lot of wheat. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has, I don't think it's the sole cause of this crisis right now, but it's a contributing factor. The article I read, and some of you may have seen it, but an expert, I'm not sure what qualifies as an expert, but this expert told the United Nations that the world has about 10 weeks of wheat supplies left before it just runs out for the world. So that caught my attention. So I looked into this. The Russia-Ukraine war has entered its fourth month. Hard to believe. It's already been going on past 4 months. And it shows no signs of ending anytime soon. Looks like it may be one of those things that just kind of drags on, unfortunately. So the war, I don't believe the war is the sole cause of this food instability, of this crisis, of this wheat. But it is just added fuel to a fire that was already burning, so to speak. Ukraine has been described as one of the world's breadbaskets. A lot of wheat, so a lot of food comes out of there. So it's very crucial. It's no surprise that a war is being fought there, is it? I mean, if you look at history, natural resources, food, land, fertile land, always fought over. So what they're saying basically is you got about 10 weeks of global consumption sitting in inventories around the world right now. 10 weeks. Now, I did watch a Glenn Beck video earlier today. It's pretty good. He kind of touches on this in a way, but he puts a spin on it. He says that we could possibly see WW3 could be sparked over food. So a big war, if not a world war, a regional war could be sparked, or a wider regional war could be sparked over this food issue. Farmers in the Ukraine have been planting, and they've been trying to, so they've got a harvest going, but they're trying to figure out a way to get it to market. Because what's happening is the Baltic Sea is where, there's a war being fought there. So the Baltic Sea is where the container ships are located, and they're trying to get the food out. But the problem is the Russian Navy has surrounded all of this. So they're just blocking it in. So what they're saying is you've got about a 30-day window right about now. So by about the middle of June or so, they really need to have this to the market to get this wheat out, or you're going to have an issue. You're going to have a problem. Now, not necessarily right here in North America and the United States, but a lot of places in the world. You're going to have a domino effect. You're already seeing it in some countries like Sri Lanka, Iran. They're having food riots. They're having a lot of issues. They're having a lot of civil unrest. But this is going to really ramp up big time if they can't get that food out. About a 30-day window. So places like Kenya, Lebanon, lot of African countries depend on this, and they have large populations. And so you could have a situation where you could have a rapidly rising unrest going on there. So you could have a situation where these countries cannot feed their population, and that'll ramp up fast if this keeps up. So you have a problem here. You get the Russian Navy holding it in, blockading this stuff or surrounding these container ships, not letting them out. The question that was brought up was, what does NATO do? Does NATO get involved at this point more directly? I mean, they kind of are anyway, but will they go in, more so now, because of this, as a way to save the world from starvation? Will they do that? They may try to justify it that way. The administration sure looks to want a war, but this could spark one for sure. And then you have, to complicate things, you have China parked off Taiwan, so to speak. And that just keeps the tensions just keep going up and up on that one. So you could make the argument that they would try to make their argument, as far as flipping back to Russia, Ukraine, save the starving people of a lot of countries in Africa, save the governments of Africa, by intervening and preventing Russia from being able to keep that food from coming out. So that could be very, very interesting to see. That's very complicated. There's a lot of moving parts to all this. Very much so. And then to add to that, I know I saw where today where Biden said, when he was asked by a reporter, would the United States intervene if China goes ahead and invades Taiwan? And he said yes, without hesitation. It wasn't one of those half answers. He was cogent when he said that. He said, yes, absolutely. We will defend Taiwan. We will intervene. That's interesting. So, yeah. So we have a situation here. So 30 days, 30-day window or so. Let's keep an eye on that. You got the 10 weeks to as far as inventories of grain. I don't have any other way of confirming that. This is just what this expert says. So there's a lot of factors going into it. Like I said, things to stock up on. I know here, we rely every spring and summer on our garden for vegetables, and it has fed us pretty well. We've expanded that a good bit. So we rely on that and for vegetables, but we are really stocking up on the canned meat and baking items. So flour, well, we're gluten-free. Mrs. Dawg is gluten-free, which pretty much makes me gluten-free. But the gluten-free version of that and some other things, the rice flour and such, Mrs. Dawg makes her own bread. So baking items, something to think about. Staples for preparing food, pasta, your sauces. Staples for soup and stews, think about ways to make the meal stretch, okay? Maybe in a situation like that. Like I said, canned meat keeps going up. The more you can get now, the better, because the price just keeps going up there. And water, of course. Think about storing more water. You can't have enough of that. All right. So, all right. Good verse for today is James, the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7 says, "Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." He will flee from you. So that's kind of comforting to know, right? Resist the devil and his schemes, or his demons. Resist them. You can say it out loud. In the name of Jesus, leave me. In the name of Jesus, you will leave me right now. You will leave me alone. And they will. It will be done. So keep that in mind, especially nowadays, the way things are going. So share your thoughts. You guys take care out there. Be aware. Be safe. God bless you. I'll see you soon.